What's up, everyone? In today's video, we have a lot of big things to cover. Last week, the stock market blasted to the upside as a bunch of stocks ripped on earnings. And guess what? We have a lot more earnings in the hopper for this week. It's going to be a great and exciting week, so make sure to stick with us all the way to the end. We're going to talk about the most important things you need to know for this week, some great setups, and towards the end of the video, we have a $760,000 play you won't want to miss, but we have some big earnings and some big events happening. So make sure to stick with us. And Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, like you said, that was a very explosive week last week. If we go to the heat map, you can see there was a lot of big tech stocks that pushed us up, of course. It was kind of mixed overall on the week, but you can see on the right side, like Nike, Pepsi, Procter & Gamble, some stocks like that did well, but safe havens like Walmart, Amazon fell. But we did have those big tech stocks obviously ripping with earnings like Microsoft, Meta, and Google. Those three ended up being very explosive for the market, especially Meta and Microsoft. Look at those two percentages, 14% and 7% out of Microsoft last week. If we actually go to a Meta chart, it is insane to see it breaking out the way it is, Mike. It's up so much from the beginning of the year. It's up over like 170% right now. So keep it on the radar. It seems like things are going to be continuing. And with these stocks having such good earnings, this gives me so much hope for this week being another explosive week here. So on Monday, we have SoFi, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Diamondback Energy, MGM Resorts. Tuesday, AMD, Ford, Pfizer, Starbucks, Marriott Hotels. Wednesday, Qualcomm. Thursday, we have Apple and Shopify. So, man, Mike, there's so many on the list here. It's hard to even name them all.
Tom, if you had to pick one stock out of all of these for earnings that you're going to be watching the most, tell me which one it'll be, and I have to make a rule. You cannot pick Apple.
Yeah, true. No Apple here. So honestly, I think that AMD on Tuesday is going to be my favorite. I am huge into those chip stocks. And if I go look at AMD's chart right now, they had a recent dip and they actually dipped back down to a big trend line that they've been kind of bouncing off of. Now, they didn't bounce off of it very perfectly on this dip, but it is interesting to see how much they fell. And it seems like, they're in a better position to rise than somebody like NVIDIA, who's obviously held their ground a little bit more where AMD dipped back. But AMD is going to be my favorite, Mike, with earnings going on and everything like that. I know AMD is one of the favorites, but there's so many on the list. What are you looking at?
See, I knew you were going to say AMD. I should have made that the restriction just like Apple. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Shopify on Thursday after close. It's one of those silent killers where it's like, it has great volatility and just great powerful moves, but it doesn't have like I don't know, like I guess you could say like the limelight that like Apple or Nvidia or Meta has. So either way, it's like a stock that goes absolutely crazy. It trends in a powerful way, and it's just one of those stocks that have been beaten down so badly over the past couple of years, but still has like real and just good long-term potential. I mean, in November of 2021, this stock was trading for around $180 a share. It fell all the way down to around, you could say, $23 a share back in 2022. And now it's lingering just under $50 a share right now. So I'm pretty excited for this earnings.
Yeah, I really like it too. And it's actually on a pretty big trend line. So hopefully it has some good earnings and can maybe come up and test like $54 or maybe even start to break out. I feel like so many stocks right now, whether it's Shopify or AMD or NVIDIA or just any of these big tech stocks right now, even Google on a daily chart, all these stocks are sitting right around key resistances. And it seems like if they start to break, we could get some pretty big moves coming in. But yeah, I do like Shopify. I'll be honest, Mike, even Coinbase on Thursday and DraftKings are going to be very interesting to me as well. I know Coinbase is pretty big. DraftKings has been having a pretty big move lately too. And even AMC Friday should have some pretty big movement.
Beautiful. All right, Tom. Now, what I think will really separate this week compared to last week is that this week we actually have some pretty strong things happening on the economic data side of things. So fill us in. What's on the schedule?
Yeah, it's going to be a huge week. So pretty much on Monday and Tuesday, there's not too much going on. There's ISM manufacturing PMI and, some factory orders, stuff like that on Tuesday. Nothing too crazy. But on Wednesday, we are going to have Big Daddy Powell himself talking here. So the head of the Federal Reserve is going to be speaking on Wednesday, and they're going to have that federal interest rate decision coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern time, 30 minutes before Powell speaks. This is going to be huge. I know that they're actually expecting a 25 basis point rate hike right now. On the Fed Watch tool, they're saying there's an 83.9% chance of that happening. So seems like it's pretty set in stone that we're going to get a quarter basis point hike again. And I think that's good, Mike. Obviously inflation's still too high, and I still think that there's a long way to go to still get it down. Obviously though, at the end of the week, we're also going to have some unemployment rate and some non-farm payrolls coming out, but that Fed press conference and interest rate decision is going to be huge.
You know it. I mean, look at that lineup for Wednesday and Thursday, and then even Friday too. You have the huge economic data plus the big earnings. So I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be a very, very exciting week. And all this is happening at the same time that the SPY is it's moving with some power. Look at that price action intraday on Thursday and Friday. Like, we're seeing some pretty strong movement. So I'm pretty excited, Tom. So with that being said, let's get right into some setups for tomorrow. One stock I'm watching very closely is CCJ. This is a uranium company. They reported earnings last week, and it looks like they have potential for an earnings continuation to the upside, obviously. It's moving in a pretty strong way. It's trending very strong over the past couple weeks, and I'm going to be watching this one pretty closely for a play to the upside. There is some resistance right around $28.50. Right now it's right around $27.50, so there's a good margin to the upside.
Yeah, I do like that. That could be a really solid play for tomorrow, Mike. And all those uranium stocks started really going. I even saw UUUU was moving last week with some pretty good upside movement as well. So yeah, I'll definitely keep my eyes on CCJ. And I will say AMD is going to be one of my favorites this week. I know that we already talked about it with them having earnings going on, but with all these positive earnings and with AMD moving up with some of them at the end of the week last week, I feel like that we could see a good continuation. So I'm watching for a move up above 89.80 tomorrow. And then if we do see a move from there, I'm going to watch $90. And if we break above 90, I think that would be a great entry for some calls to the upside. Like I said, AMD's been dipping down a little bit lately. So I feel like a recovery could be coming here, especially with all these tech stocks breaking out.
Alrighty. Another stock I'm watching pretty closely is good old Disney. This stock has had some pretty good movement last week as well. It's been trending in a pretty strong way. Just over the past couple of days, it went from like $97 almost up to $103. And that's a pretty good move for a stock like Disney. The momentum's strong, and, with the SPY moving like it is, this stock can trend to the upside. So I'm definitely watching it pretty closely.
Yeah, I will say I love Disney too, Mike. It's one of my favorites for the long term. I've been picking up shares a lot down here under $100. So, hey, the more the merrier, right? I hope it keeps going up. It's one of my favorites. And, they have that Disney Plus streaming service, which I love as well. I think that'll do very good in the future. I think that was very smart by them as a company to start that, obviously. So my second play of the day, or I should say play for tomorrow, for Monday, is going to be Google. I know that we talked about this one a lot last week with earnings, and it actually kind of fell off at first, but now it actually came back. If we start to break above like 108 or 108.50, I'm going to watch calls on this to the upside. When I go to a Google daily chart, this stock is still very, very low compared to recent highs, where if we go to something like Apple, it's actually recovered up a ton here. So I think Google has a ton of room to continue to move, whether you're looking at Google with the L or you're looking at Goog, just G-O-O-G. I think they'll both be okay. Obviously they both have a lot of volume, but I will say I'd rather probably go with G-O-G-L personally.
All right, sounds good. Well, with that being said, let's get right into those momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have RCL to the upside.
Good old Royal Caribbean. That is a good breakout on Friday there. If we can get above $66.10, watch for some calls. I would say 66, but we always have to give or take a few cents there.
All right, with the next one, we have MU also to the upside.
Micron. Yeah, I love this move with the chip plays. Make them break above 64.50. They're sitting right on resistance.
All right, and with the last one, we have Amazon, and we need both directions.
Yeah, good old Amazon. I'll say, Mike, that one was the earnings move last week that kind of threw me off a little bit. At first I thought they were going to explode. Then they fell back. If they fall under that support from Friday around 104, watch for some puts to the downside. That's going to be a pretty big level. But if they get above 107, which is a pretty big intraday resistance from Friday, then go ahead and watch for calls back up. So 107 to the upside and 104 to the downside.
All right, so we have that downside level that Tom suggested. If it breaks below that, we're watching it for a play down. And then don't forget about the upside level for a play up. And then don't forget about the levels on MU and RCL as well for potential plays to the upside. But it is now time for the $760,000 trade of the day. We are looking at GSAT. Basically, someone dumped $760,000 into the GSAT one strike call options that expire on July 21st of 2023. This is basically like a satellite communications company. Obviously, it's a pretty low price stock, very volatile. It moves a ton based off of news. So any sort of news, earnings, events, positive outlook, stock upgrade, literally any sort of event can really blast this stock to the upside. It was September of 2022, this stock was lingering right around $3 a share. So if there's some great news, the stock has potential to run. Tom, I look at this play and I see the smart money just taking like a, high risk, high reward setup here. And I don't think it's bad. It's just, high risk, high reward.
Yeah, it really is. Hopefully they know something with this. That's a lot of money. Whenever you said the one strike calls, I was really thrown off. I thought you misspoke for a second. Then I saw the stock and I was like, wow, it's under $1 right now. We usually don't mention plays that are this low, but I know GSAT has had some pretty good momentum in the past. Like you said, they've had a lot of hype associated with them as well. And they're also kind of bouncing right off of a key support, right around like 90 cents. So keep that in mind too. That's been a pretty big support ever since 2021. So hopefully we keep bouncing here. Obviously, you would think that they would know something, right? That's $760,000 into such a low price stock like this. They either know something or they're definitely doing some type of, covered calls or some type of a hedge here.
You know it. And if you guys are actually looking to get access to these multi-million-dollar trades every single day before the market closes, definitely check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Not only will you get access to these plays before the market closes, so you can get better entries, but also you get access to our custom bots that you won't find anywhere else and that are about to have a giant upgrade in about a week. So huge things are definitely happening behind the scenes. If you're into short-term trading, this is the program for you. You get access to our day trading bots, multi-million-dollar trade setups. Tom and I chat in this community literally all day long. And in the worst case scenario, you can cancel at any time. And then to sweeten the deal, your first month, you will save like $41 if you use the link in the description and the comments down below. But definitely check it out. It's an awesome program for short-term traders. We also have a lot of stuff for swing plays as well. But Tom, we're set for a very exciting week. We have some big earnings coming, big economic data. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be crazy whenever Powell speaks on Wednesday. Keep in mind, it looks like they're going to be doing 25 basis points on the rate hike there. Here's the earnings play, or the earnings calendar, if anybody wants to screenshot it or anything like that here at the end of the video. I will say, Mike, we have so many big earnings coming out. It's going to be hard to, play the market because, there's going to be so many big earnings and it's going to cause a lot of swings. But with the way earnings seasons went so far and with all the positivity coming in, and with the way some of these stocks are starting to break out, you would think we're moving to the upside here. So I'm really looking for a nice bullish week. I was really looking for a lot of stocks to fall, but this earnings season really surprised me here. I was definitely not expecting this much positivity.
Yeah, there we go. If you guys are new to the channel and you like the video, make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see our videos recommended to you more often. And last but not least, giant shout out to today's member of the day, Ivan the Great. You've been in the chat for a couple weeks now and you've been asking some pretty good questions. And you've been having some pretty good activity as well. So definitely keep it up. Huge shout out to you. And remember, if you're into short-term trading, check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. It's going to be an amazing week. And besides that, thanks for watching.